what's up? It's Sifu Kuttel, and in this video we are going to be doing choylifut footwork with the Zhan Ma Dao, or horse chopper. So the very first thing I want to mention is, if you do not know the choylifut footwork pattern, go ahead and check out this link I leave up above as well as down below in the description. It's important to know the footwork pattern before we start implementing the weapon techniques, because I'm not going to really explain it. Even with the small deviation that we do in this version, it's not really going to go over weight distribution and proper stance position. So learn that first, then come back to this video. It's not going anywhere. The second thing is, Zhan Ma Dao, or horse chopper, is a term that's been in use since the Song Dynasty. However, anti-cavalry swords have been around even much longer than that. So the first time it was actually called a Zhan Ma Dao was in the Song, and it was a very different looking type blade. And over the different dynasties and different generations, different blades have evolved. Now, in this video, I'm using a blade that's based off of an existing blade that came from the Liao Dynasty. Now, this one I prefer just because it's got the nice curvature. It's something that we're used to seeing when it comes to like horse choppers, and it's got a long handle. However, if you look at Ming and even Qing examples, they start looking more like a Chang Dao, or more like a katana, or a longer odachi or no dachi. So there's a lot of different variations in choppers, and because of that, sometimes you have a longer handle, sometimes you'll have a shorter handle like this. I wouldn't go much shorter than this, but longer is fine. And when it comes to having a longer handle, there are some modifications that you will have to make. Sometimes you put the staff behind the body. And I mention that as we do this, but just keep that in mind. So if you don't have this exact chopper, it's okay. You can use even a katana, just a very long single-edged sword with a longer handle. Okay, and then make small adaptations here or there. But the main thing you're going to find is this weapon uses momentum and big swinging cuts. Okay, grab your chopper, let's go get to work. All right, so we're going to begin with our very first technique. It's similar to a thrust, but you actually want to lead with the curvature of the blade. So think of this as more of a forward pressing cut. Okay, so I'm going to keep it across my body. I'm going to step forward and then press in straight forward, okay? Straight in just like this. My hand will end up on the inside of my knee right here as I'm pressing forward. This one is called Tang. Now from here, I'm going to bring it up and over as I step away, and I'm going to let go with my backhand so that I can scoop and cut more upward, resting the handle of the sword along my arm. Okay, with a longer weapon, it will actually rest further across the shoulders. Okay, so again, we'll step in long stance, pressing forward, withdraw, step away, and then cut upward. One more time, forward, press, return the blade edge away as you step away, and then cut upward. Now, hand protecting up at the head as we do this, I'm going to turn around. Bring it around my head like a big umbrella block, and then I'm going to finish with a horizontal cut, carrying it all the way across my body here, okay? Just make sure when you end, the tip of the sword is still pointing forward. Don't overswing and don't bring it out towards the side, okay? So again, forward press, withdraw, step away, bring it around the head, grab, finish up, big sweeping horizontal cut. Okay, one more time. If I'm facing towards you, I press forward, cut upward, block, horizontal slash. Okay, really big slice. Now from here, I'm going to withdraw, stepping back, raise up. Think of this as a block. Somebody's attacking towards my head. I'm going to knock their weapon out of the way. I'm not trying to pull my hand back. I don't want to change my balance for that. So it's some push-pull mechanic in the hands right here. I steal back. Notice the blade is still forward. and then I'm going to step back and press and cut forward, okay? So again, from that big swing, we have back 1, cut down 2. Again, towards you from that big swing, up 1, down 2. Follows the same path, okay? One more time from the very beginning, I have my forward press, withdraw, cut from underneath, swing around the head, big horizontal chop, withdrawing back 1, 2, okay? One more time, press, withdraw, underneath, unwind, cut, back 1, 2. Now from here, I'm going to bring it up over my head so that I can cross my hands. So I'll just go up, turn, down, and then I have my blade edge pointing in the direction where I can cut. Now if you have a longer weapon, the back of the sword will actually, the handle will rest along your side. You want this to go on your back, okay? That's also why you want to bring it up high to do this. If you have a shorter handle like this, you can just turn the blade over and then cut. But a longer handle will require that you bring your hand up and over, get it behind the body, and turn and finish the cut, okay? So another horizontal slice, cutting outward, all right? Again, from the very beginning, if I'm facing towards this corner, I press, withdraw, upward, circle around, horizontal cut, 1, 2, up, over, cut the other direction, okay? And with the blade pointing forward, okay? This is what Zhan Ma Dao is all about. It's all about big swinging cuts. You're gaining momentum. It's a heavy blade. You're not worried about quick little slices here and there. You're trying to power through your cuts. So you're going to find that even beyond using waist rotation for basic cutting positions, there's going to be a lot of swinging around the body to gain even more momentum, okay? And then we can also use these as blocking over the head to chop in, okay? Let's continue. From here, forward press, withdraw, all the way around, big cut, 1, 2, up, cut. Now we're gonna do one more, big spinning cut. I'm going to unwind, so I turn back around the other way, bringing the sword around my head. As I do that, I start turning my upper body with it, and I'm going to steal behind. So I step behind as I swing, unwind, and then we're gonna go low, cut towards the legs, okay? That's our final position. You'll find this really travels, so it's okay to do even a lead step first before you step in, and even step out further on the very last one, okay? Again, let's take it from this last cut, our last horizontal cut. I change that direction, up over my head, drop it down as I step behind. Unwind naturally, drop down and cut. Notice I'm bringing my hands now to my waist. If you extend, it will pull you forward. So on this one, as you return, after you reach and cut, return back to the hip, okay? And we're not touching the knee to the ground. So we're just keeping it just above the ground. I'm on the ball of my foot, on the back foot, so that I can remain mobile, okay? Again, from the very beginning, forward press, stepping away, up over the head, horizontal cut, 1, 2, over the head, outward, swing it around, drop down, and cut. And this is going to chain in to the very beginning again, okay? So again, forward press. Now, from here, keeping my intention forward, withdraw, cut, turn around, cut, up, down, over the head, cut, spin, cut, press. And we're in the very beginning again, and all you need to do is repeat. Okay, so there you have it. It's actually pretty straightforward. There's a lot of over the head swings, and when you do those swings, we are going to maintain that same blade edge position. We're not going to flip over the blade in between. So make sure that as you're practicing this, finish each cut in that position before moving on to the next cutting position, into the next cutting position, into the next cutting position, to make sure that your blade edge is in the right spot. Now from there, you can slow it down and make sure that you have good alignment between your grip, your handle, your stance, and the cutting path itself, and you can work into more refinement that way, as well as there are a number of horse chopper techniques out there. So you can use this as a base to your horse chopper practice. So as you explore and you learn more techniques, you can start building on this footwork pattern until you have something, good sized chunk that you can practice, and you can even work on mirroring the footwork, and you can start to improvise and come up with your own evolution for this weapon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in this sword, I'll leave a link to it as well down below, and check out LK Chen. There's a couple of different Zhan Ma Dao that they have, and from different dynasties, and they are really cool, and they're all very unique to use. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.